this Libra season, with this focus on our relationships, there is going to be a lot of focus on forgiveness. Hi friends, welcome back to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and if you're new here, I am a mystical relationship coach, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purpose-filled lives. And today we are here to talk about Libra season. Libra season will be taking place between September 22nd and October 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you are in the world. And Libra season will be a much welcome change after the very structured, task-oriented energy of Virgo season. And the one thing to be aware of is that during this Libra season, we will be experiencing Mercury in retrograde in Libra. We're experiencing our Mercury retrogrades in the air signs this year. So it will have us kind of in our heads about things, but it will be things that we need to think about. And for Libra, it will be about our relationships. And so be prepared for a little bit of the stirring of the pot in your relationships. So if there's things that aren't being said or any issues that are being ignored, this Mercury retrograde in Libra could easily bring those up. And Mercury is the planet of communication, so when it's retrograde, there does tend to be some miscommunications happening. And so make sure that you're really being open and honest with those that are closest to you. That's really important. And to double check communications, in the sense of making sure people understand what you mean when you speak to them, when you are communicating with them. So if you feel like there's all of a sudden some tension in your relationship because communication isn't working so well, pause, breathe, don't react. Don't just fly off the handle and be like, well, how could you think that I think that? It's a good time to say, well, wait, I need you to make sure that you're hearing me correctly. Well, wait, can you repeat back to me what you just heard? Because I want to make sure that I'm communicating clearly to you, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page and that you understand what I'm saying to you. So there could be a lot of that stuff coming up for Libra season. So Mercury will be entering retrograde on the 26th, 27th of September, and we've already been in the shadow since the 6th, since the last new moon in Virgo. And then it will go direct October 18th. After November 3rd, we'll be out of the shadow. So a lot of the energy of Libra season will be a focus on our relationships, and very much so it should be focusing on nurturing the relationships that are most important to you. In Virgo season, you should have gotten some grounding, and you should have been able to kind of prioritize yourself and your world a little better. And so hopefully you've kind of realized, maybe there are certain people in your life that you just kind of have drifted apart from each other, and that's okay. And it's just time to focus on the people who want to be in your life, not necessarily the ones who make you kind of feel like a second thought, or the ones that have just decided they don't want to be around you at all. This is definitely a time to review, are we in healthy relationship with ourselves and with each other? And you don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you. So definitely focus on being with the people that want to be with you, and the people that fill you up with love and light and energy. And we already had some of that with this Pisces full moon. This Pisces full moon right at the end of Virgo season on the 20th, on September 20th, really helped kind of usher in this feeling, this focus on needing to make sure that you are doing things with people or doing activities with yourself that re-energize you, that fill you up with energy, that ignite you, that are the things that remind you of how beautiful life is, and how and why you came to Earth and chose to be human. And that's really going to carry into Libra season. So Libra season for me, I always think of like pink. That's why I'm like wearing my pinks today. I did my more pinky makeup. I have more pinky nails. Like, I love color association with the energies of the seasons. Stone association. I'll probably be wearing my rose quartzes and my pink rhododendrite. I think that's how you say rhododendrite. It's just, a lot of that is because Libra, like Pisces, is the other sign that I feel like really looks at life through rose-colored glasses. You know, there's this, they say that Aquarius is the most evolved air sign, and that Aquarius is usually good about getting in touch with their emotions. I feel like Aquarius is actually better at not letting negative things affect them, and Libra is actually a little bit more on the positive side. They are represented by the scales, so, and they are the only archetype that is not a living thing, which is interesting. And so I have met certain Libras that over the years that are just like, oh, we're boring, or oh, you know, there's just like nothing exciting about us, or they're like, you know, they feel like they have this reputation of being like cold, or too logical, and I just don't find that to be true. All the Libras in my life are some of the most loving people that I've known, and Libra definitely like has a reputation of can be like maybe a little more flighty, or a little bit of an airhead. All air signs kind of have that quality every now and then, especially Gemini and Libra, but Libra is the most forgiving sign I found, like almost to a fault. I feel like I see some of these like loving Libras that are just like such gems of people, and they like don't value themselves enough. They so easily push themselves aside, and that they easily get taken advantage of by those people around them who know that they'll just like say yes and do these things, and that you can just step on them and they'll like eventually take you back. So if you have Libras in your lives, like, don't do that. Show them the same courtesy of forgiveness, because I feel like some Libras aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Libra energy can be not as stable. Like, they can appear to not maybe be as like stable as like an earth sign, but I feel like we should be returning this like courtesy that they give all of us of like acceptance and forgiveness. So whoever the Libras are in your life, like, just try to focus on their good qualities and forgive them when they're, you know, when you're maybe feeling like they're not tapping into their good qualities. Like, we need to hold more space for our Libras, because Libra holds so much space for us without even realizing it. And the energy of them is very diplomatic. They want things to be fair. They're really good at seeing both sides of the situation. Empowered Libras tend to be really strong in themselves, and just kind of like when they see that things aren't going to serve them, or they see that things don't align with them, they're like, don't care, just moving on. And I feel like that really carries into Aquarius, where Aquarians really quickly off the bat are just like, if it's not working for me, like, forget you, I'm not even dealing with it. It takes Libras a little bit longer to be in that strength, but man, once you see them really step into their power, it's like such a beautiful thing. So hug your Libras. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them how beautiful they are, because we need them. We really do. And it makes me so sad when I've met Libras in the past. They're like, I'm a Libra, it's boring. Like, no, it's not. It's not. It's just, in society at large, in this world, we so easily write off kindness for weakness, and that they are some of the kindest, most accepting people and most forgiving. So they're here to teach us something. So Libra is represented by justice in the tarot and the major arcana, and as you can see, justice is pretty perfect for Libra. We were talking about them being very diplomatic and being able to see both sides of the story, and we have the scales represented here, and then we have the sword representing air. And as you can see, like, I feel like this is a good reminder of like what Libra can be when they're in their full power and strength, and I hope that you got some of that infused into you in Virgo season. This is, all of these seasons have really been leading up to us being in our power and being our unapologetic selves, and now it's time to like really love that. And I think, like, notice that there's like the crown. I just kind of noticed that there's also like the shroud here and the pillars, and that is very reflective of the high priestess. So even though air signs tend to be very cerebral, remember that we all have intuition, and it's just about how we tap into that differently, and just seeing the signs of when things like feel good or when things feel icky. And so it's the scales. It's like, well, what do I want to give my time and attention to? Like, how is it really making me feel? This Libra season, with this focus on our relationships, there is going to be a lot of focus on forgiveness. The forgiveness that we offer to each other is not always for the other person. Sometimes we have to forgive people for ourselves and for our own peace of mind. Because sometimes the people that we feel like betray us or hurt us, they don't always deserve our energy and our time of like going to them and saying, hey, I really forgive you for doing this thing, especially if they're not like coming to you and being like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Sometimes we have to forgive people without even getting any sort of acknowledgement or apology from that person. When I have to forgive people for myself and I don't have a way of telling them specifically, and forgiveness work takes a long time. Sometimes you can try to forgive people for years, and it just, and sometimes even when you do forgiveness work for those people, it doesn't, sometimes the hurt can be so deep that it's hard to let go. So for yourself, just start practicing this. Don't expect it to happen right away, but a good practice to implement when you're doing forgiveness work is letter writing that you don't send. So I've written a lot of letters to a lot of people that I don't send. A lot of time I burn them in full moon rituals, to just like let it go into the universe, send them, blessings. It's just about turning around the energy so that we're not focusing on this like revenge or ill will or like wanting them to hurt the way that we hurt. It's so easy to do that, and that just brings you into your lower vibrations, and we're better than that. You're better than that. You wouldn't be here if you weren't trying to live a higher vibration life. And I'm trying to live a higher vibration life all the time, but it's a practice. It is not something that you just like reach a higher vibration. You're just like, I'm up here all the time and nothing else bothers me. No, because we're still human. We came here to have human experiences, and human experiences come with the pain and the shadow, and it shows, and we have to experience that so that we can find our light and find the beauty in life in general. So if you have any more questions about forgiveness work or how to do that, please reach out to me. I'm really excited for Libra season. I really was excited for the Pisces full moon, because this really speaks to like my calling in life and how I just really want to help us all be in better relationships with each other in the world. And it really starts with having better relationships with ourselves. So if you don't know how to start forgiving other people, maybe write a letter to yourself and forgive yourself about whatever mistakes you might have made in the past, things that you might have treated yourself wrong. There's just, it really starts with you. And so I really implore you to do some sort of forgiveness work during Libra season, whether it's for yourself or for others, or maybe you need to actually speak forgiveness to your partner or your parent or your child or your friend, you know. So there should be lots of opportunities for this, but make sure you're also doing your best to discern where, like, why, like, your motives also behind it. Why do you want to forgive them? Does this person even deserve any of my energy if they are coming to me saying, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I miss you, I want to be back in your life? It's like, well, we got to recognize where am I now? Like, I appreciate it. I let's squash it. But a lot of the time, things change because they're supposed to. Things change because we can't go backwards. And it's really nice to have some nostalgia and some good feelings about things, but we also have to remember our boundaries and remember why certain people just aren't in our lives anymore. And that's okay. And we just want to wish them well and wish them well on their path, because we're all on our own paths too. It's really about focusing on your own path and what you need to heal and to forgive and to live your best life, and how to protect yourself and how to tap into the joy and abundance that is all around you. So I really am sending you so many happy, loving blessings for Libra season. I think it's going to be a really great one. The first day of Libra season is also the autumn equinox, so we're moving into fall here in the northern hemisphere. So I'm really excited for some different energy. It was, you know, it's been an intense couple years. It was an intense summer, and so just give yourself some time and some space. Hold space for yourself, and don't push yourself too far, okay? There's plenty of time for that. This is about being a little gentler and a little more loving with you. All right. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into your taroscopes. Hi, Aquarius. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Let's see what Libra season has in store for you. You are also an air sign, so it's going to definitely affect you a little more than some of the other signs. And right off the gate, we definitely have some air energy. Knight of Swords and 10 of Swords in reverse. Interesting. So I don't know if I've ever seen these like two swords together. Usually like the page, it would be right in between. And it seems like, and then there's like this backwards progression, and they're in reverse. So there's a few things going on here. It feels like there's very much like some internal struggle going on, Aquarius, and I feel like that's pretty typical for you guys. You're not very good at expressing to people when you are struggling, much like Capricorn. You like to, I think too, a lot of it is that you are so aware that you don't want to burden other people with your problems. You know what I mean? You recognize that everyone has their problems, and you don't want to burden people with other problems. And most of the time, I think you handle your problems or handle things so well, and that you don't like to hear about other people's problems. A lot of Aquarians I know are just like, why are you making that even a problem? You're making that a problem. So when you have issues coming up or problems or struggles, I think you're afraid that if you express them to other people, they are going to meet you with that same sort of facetiousness that you might meet people with when they come to you with certain issues. And trust, there are a lot of people that out there that just kind of whine about stuff, and I get you that you're just like, this is not an issue, like get your shit together, like you can do this. However, the way that this is coming up is that there is resistance of you expressing what is really going on with you. And this is no joke. This kind of stuff needs to be shared. This kind of stuff can just feel so burdensome that it really is too much for you to hold it all inside. And I feel like the more you hold it all inside, the less likely you are to move forward from this. And that's why it can feel like you might be stuck. It's feeling like you're stuck. And like you're feeling like you're taking one step forward and like 5 steps back. And you're just getting nowhere fast. And if you opened up just a little bit more to the people around you who are supporting you, then there's this lightning that is going to be happening. Not lightning, like strike lightning, lightening. You're going to feel lighter, lightening up, and lighting up. Validation. Validation for what I was feeling through this. The Magician. There is a chapter, this struggle and chapter is trying to close. That's why you have the 10 here. And it's trying to close so hard. The Knight of Swords usually works really quick, and once they decide something, they decide it. They're an air sign, usually Gemini, Libra, but not surprising that it came up for you, Aquarius. And this is the 10 of Swords. Although it looks troublesome, once you get past all this pain and hurt, once you take those swords out and charge forward, there is a new day dawning in the back. It is right around the corner for you. But you have to be willing to let go, to share some of your burden, to share some of your troubles, to share some of your struggle. Even if at this point you just write it down so it's not sitting in your head, so you're not sitting there torturing yourself. If you don't want to talk about it, if you don't want to tell anybody, write it down. Just free write. Get it all out. Because on the other side is your new day. On the other side is your reconnection and with who you really are. The Magician is the first card of the Major Arcana. And I love that it comes after this 10. It's showing that something is trying to close so that you can have something new. And you can be refreshed and renewed. And remember that you have all the power in the world to create the life that you want. To create magic. The Magician is also the philosopher. Aquarius is the philosopher of the zodiac. Okay? And on the other side of that is the ability to self-mastery, the ability to create wealth, and you're getting there. You're getting to a wealthy place. You want to be in this 10. You don't want to be in this 10. But you have to look at this and acknowledge it in order for it to be in the past. You have to step on to that new journey. You have to start that new chapter. You have to do the work. He's literally making the money. He's literally making it. It's in reverse, so it's like we're not quite here yet, but it's in the future. It's trying to show you it's on its way. And the other part of that is being on your path of purpose. Stepping on that path. It's leading you to alignment. I'm going to change the name of this card. It needs to be alignment. Alignment, enlightenment. You might need a little grounding, a little more grounding. If you don't feel grounded from Virgo season, you might just need a little bit more grounding. But they want you to remember that you are capable and that you have the power and that this is all leading you to where you're supposed to be. They do not want you to wallow in the hurt and the heartbreak and the perceived failure. You're not failing, okay? You're not failing. We learn from opposites on this earth. We learn from the pain and the struggles. But we have to recognize them, learn those lessons, and let them go in order to see the new, to see the beauty that it is to be on earth, to see the beauty that it is to be human. I believe in you. I believe in you. And you deserve it. I know you do. I know you deserve it. So stop torturing yourself. Stop torturing yourself. Good things are on its way, okay? Oh, one of the other signs got this card. It says, "Your divine beauty." I think this is actually going to be perfect for you too, Aquarius. Dear you, Libra might have gotten this, which is wild. The simple yet powerful law of cause and effect means everything is in relationship. Every action on earth has a consequence, and even in the spirit world, there's a consequence for every action taken on your behalf. Right now, you're facing conditions that were set in motion by past decisions. Consequences are coming into being in your favor. They will remind you that making good choices and listening to your intuition pay off. If some things are a little off and uncertain, know that whatever you are facing, you can step beyond it just by using your imagination and acting on that instead of reacting to what is being presented. Everything you think and do has far-reaching reverberations in the web of life. Move to higher ground and have faith that what goes around comes around. The universe is always self-correcting anyway. Isn't that amazing? How we adore you. Aww. All right, my lovelies. You're doing great. You really are. Let me know if you need anything. Thank you so much for being here. Sending you so much love. And I will see you for Scorpio season. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate all of your support. I'm sending you so much love. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell. Share with a friend. Go follow things at Meryl's Mystic on pretty much all platforms. And join me for my lives on Facebook and Instagram. My lives for October will be the 1st, the 15th, and then I will be doing a live for Halloween Samhain on the 31st. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Jesus,